Hello, in this presentation, I'll be solving a problem involving compound interest. After 3.5 years, $950 has accumulated to $1,300. I need to find the annual interest rate compounded quarterly. Well, the value of P, that initial value, is going to be $950. The final value A is going to be $1,300. The next thing I need to do is I need to work out the number of interest-bearing periods. Now you'd think the value of N, the number of interest-bearing periods, is 3.5 because we've got 3.5 years. But the interest is compounded quarterly. So I need to multiply that by 4. So the value of N is 14 because this involves interest being compounded quarterly. I need to work out the value of I, but I need to work out the annual interest rate. That's the formula I'll be using, and I'll substitute the values of A and P into the formula there. You can see that I've done that, and N is 14. And what that really means is the value of R is the interest rate, but it's not the annual interest rate. It's the quarterly interest rate. So to find the value of R, I divide both sides of the equal sign by 950. I then get the 14th root of both sides of the equal sign, and I minus 1 from both sides of the equal sign. And finally, I multiply both sides of the equal sign by 100. And now I'm going to use my calculator to get that value of R. And so I'll begin with some brackets. And inside the brackets, I'm going to have that 14th root worked out. So I'll go to math. I'll arrow down to number 5. Press enter. It's the 14th root that I'm working out. I'll arrow to the right. Now I'll type in 1,300 divided by 950. Then I'll arrow to the right. Then I'll say minus 1. I'll close the bracket. And I'll multiply by 100. I'll press enter. And I get that value there. And it's quite a long, complicated decimal. And that value of R that I've obtained is the quarterly interest rate. To get the yearly or annual interest rate, I need to get that decimal value and multiply it by 4. I need to get the quarterly interest rate and multiply it by 4. And that's exactly what I've done. So the yearly interest rate is 9.06%. So the annual interest rate is 9.06% per annum. And the whole thing could have been done on the calculator. The whole thing could have been done using the TI-84 plus CE calculator. So to show you how to do that, I'm going to press Apps, choose Finance number 1, choose TMV Solver number 1, and all the information that I used previously is now going to be typed in. the number of interest-bearing periods is going to be 3.5 multiplied by 4. I'll arrow down, and that's going to give me 14 again. That initial value, PV, is the amount invested or borrowed. And this algorithm or program, I believe, was designed for situations where money is borrowed. So with the $950, I enter that as negative 950. So I go down here to answer, and it's important that I do it this way. I go down here to answer, and I enter 950, negative $950. I arrow down. PMT is the payments, but there are no regular payments being made. So I'll leave that as 0. The final value is 1300. I'll type in 1300. Now for PY, the number of payments made per year, well, that would be 4, although in this case, each of those payments is 0. And the number of compounds per year, well, that's going to be 4 as well, because it's compounded quarterly. I arrow up to where it says I%. And to get the calculator to work out the value of I, and this is going to be the annual interest rate, I press alpha and then the enter to solve. And there's that value that I worked out previously, 9.06%. It's a much easier, much faster way of getting the answer. Well, thank you for viewing.